I'm gonna draw a head which has been scraped really hard against a concrete wall. It's pretty graphic, so if you don't like things like that, please consider watching any of my videos, but not this one. Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. As I said in the hook before the intro, this will get pretty graphic soon, even if it's just ink on paper. So last warning if you don't like that stuff. I'll see how this video does. If people watching it click off after just a few seconds, I probably won't draw this sort of subject. I'm experimenting, as always. On the other hand, if you like it, let me know in the comments and subscribe. At first, I wanted to make this video about tips for creativity, finding inspiration and stuff like that, but I think it might not be the best. Instead, I'm gonna talk about something else, probably, letting my fingers run over my keyboard and forming a stream of consciousness. One thing that's pretty interesting and that I can talk about is a conference. It's related to my day work. If you don't know, I'm a PhD student in physics, and next week I'm going to Paris for 2 days to follow an important conference in physics. I won't delve too much into the field of physics this concerns, but I'm really excited. Unfortunately, this conference is just a little bit on the edge of what I've been personally experimenting on, so I won't be able to present anything there. If I did make a poster or presentation, it would be out of subject. Instead, I'm going on a 2-day trip to see international experts and some less qualified people too talk about really interesting stuff. Food is free of charge and all the other expenses are paid by my lab, so that's really cool. I know I'm gonna have a good time in Paris. I'm also going there by train, and if you've seen my videos about trains, you know I have very mixed feelings about them, but the 2-way trip has only 1 3-hour train ride each time, so I'll manage to not bang my head against the window the whole time. Unlike this guy I'm drawing, am I right? Anyway, these are the news on my work that I can tell you. I wish I could talk more about it, and maybe even give you a physics class one day, but for now I prefer not to. I value my privacy very highly, and I feel like with the things I'm working on, it would be very easy to find me with a few Google searches. I still want to talk about cryogenics though. This is adjacent to the subject of my studies, and that will make for really interesting drawings. Also, finding me would be made even easier in a few months when I have like 5 articles released with my name. That's a big point in any public research activity, dropping articles with all the experiments and results that you've done. In my case, I will have my name 5 times because I'm writing a few articles on my own at the same time, and also I helped other people with their research, and apparently it's enough to grant a place as an author in the paper. So I'm also excited for that, even though I don't particularly see the point in it when I look at the big picture. The big picture here not being the world of research and science with a capital S, but my own future. I don't necessarily want to continue on the path of physics, or science for that matters. I like doing research a lot, but since I've started my PhD, I've talked with a lot of researchers, and that domain is hard to work in. Finding a job especially is really hard in a public domain. You need to be very lucky and very good, which are 2 things I don't think I am. The pay is not very high either compared to the work. On the other hand, with my experience and my engineering diploma, I could pretty easily find a job in the industry, but I don't find that as attractive. I don't really want to work for a company. What I want to do is, I think, what I've always wanted to do and become a full-time artist. And here, artist is a very broad and generic term. Drawing is of course a big part of it, but I would also like to become a writer. I've been writing for as long as I've been drawing. I've told you a few times already about my web novel, Universal Knowledge of the Tao, that you can find a link to in the description, but I also have other writing projects. In fact, at the moment I'm kinda on a break from writing the novel. That doesn't mean I've stopped writing it, or that I'm dropping the novel, I'm simply writing something else. You see, I have a project for a real book, in quotation. A thing that will be a finished product. Consistent, edited and reworked a few times. Something I can take to a publishing company and hope that they like it. Or else I can publish it myself someday if that doesn't pan out. So an illustrator and a writer. And the third occupation I want is completely different, but I could argue it still falls under the artistry domain. I want to become a knife maker. Knifesmith, bladesmith, blacksmith. I don't really know the terminology in English. I've been passionate about knives for as long as I can remember. I have a small collection of about 35 knives and I want to make some more myself. I did participate in a small knife convention once when I was younger, where I had the opportunity to build one with the help of a proper blacksmith, and honestly I'm still thinking about that a lot. I was telling you, for me it's still part of the artistry because you can be pretty creative with the designs. And it's something you make with your hands. It touches on woodworking, blacksmithing, designing, and even materials physics, I guess. In any case, this is something I want to do eventually. Not now though, because I don't have a room for it. If I had a bigger apartment, I could do more manual activities like wood sculpting and such, but since my recording room is also my bedroom, and also my kitchen, and also my dining room, I don't want wood dust everywhere on my computer and clothes and food. Also, a forge in an apartment is pretty unrealistic and a huge fire hazard, so that has to wait. Basically, I have a lot of dreams and projects and I don't know when or how or if I will be able to realize them. I guess it's the same for a lot of people. If that's your case, drop a comment below and tell me what your dreams are. I hope you do get to do them eventually. Now, to go back on the things I said about being anonymous before I wrap this video, actually, I don't particularly care if you find out who I am. I think it's the other way around. I don't want people from my regular life finding out this place. The way I set up this channel, it's linked with my Instagram, my writing page on Royal Road, my Twitter, etc, but it's all in a closed loop. At no point can you find who I am from that, and at no point can you find that from my personal social media. There are two main points why I want to leave it that way. First off, because of work. It doesn't look as professional to also make drawing videos on the side. And I don't know what my boss would say if I said I was swamped with work, which is often the case, but at the same time I'm still putting in the effort to make 2 videos per week. My boss is really nice and wouldn't say anything bad, I'm sure, but as all researchers, they tend to spend all of their free times on work-related things, and I don't want to do that. When they send me 2 articles to read at 11 PM, I can't do it. I'll do it the next day at 9, but not before. So you can understand why I don't want my other work to come out in the open. The second reason I don't want my real name associated with this channel is quite stupid, but it's because of my family. For some reason, I'm still not comfortable with showing them what I produce. They see my drawings fairly regularly, but I don't want them to see my writing or the drawing videos. I don't know if it's a confidence-related thing or something, but I still haven't broken that barrier preventing me from showing them. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. I didn't talk about the drawing very much, so if you're still curious at this point, I'm using a Kawiko Sport with cheap black ink cartridges to draw in a Canson sketchbook. As for the process, well, you've seen it all. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me in the comments after you like the video. Subscribe to see all the content I come up with every week and check out my social media in the description. I'm Detroit and I had a nice talk. Bye!